Maxx Crosby built a reputation on effort you can feel through a TV screen. But the scariest thing about his story isn't a swim move, getting sacks, or even facing an all-pro tackle across from him. It was the man in the mirror.
I was doing here and there, take a pill that I didn't even know what it was, like, it was scary.
Years before he became the Raiders' heartbeat and signed the kind of deal defensive players dream about, Maxx hit an obstacle in his life that most people don't go through.
Like, I felt like I was dying. Well, I looked in the mirror and, like, didn't even recognize myself.
The parties that felt like wins turned into losses that he couldn't hide. While fans cheered, he was fighting addiction, alcohol, and pills. And the one person who loved him most, Rachel Washburn, carried the weight with him until it nearly broke them both.
He would just leave for like days at a time, and like he would leave Thursday, come back Sunday, same clothes.
Then came a date he tattooed on his hand and a promise he hasn't broken since. That's when the motor people talk about became something else entirely. Discipline and soberness. This is the story of the Raiders' own Mad Maxx, Maxx Crosby.
Hey, you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is, come on.
First, let's go back to where it all began. Before the Pro Bowls and the chaos of Vegas, there was a redheaded kid trying to catch up. Maxx grew up in Michigan before the move to Texas, where high school football isn't an activity, it's appointment viewing. His older brother Miles had the look, the speed, the recruiting buzz. Maxx had a late growth spurt, a stubborn streak, and a position change from linebacker to defensive end that turned every practice into a crash course.
My brother was like the man. He was a pretty boy, got all the girls, like, so in my head, I was always like, I'm trying to be like him, like they don't want me. I had that jealousy and I wanted that in life, and like, I just wasn't happy as a human being.
Sadly, that's when Maxx Crosby reached for what he thought was the cure to every insecurity, alcohol.
First time I ever drank in high school, I was like, I'm in love. Like this, I could go up to any chick and talk now. Like I was a middle child, redhead. Like I wasn't the most confident kid growing up.
For the first time in his life, he finally felt like he belonged, free from living in his brother's shadow. On the field, everything clicked. He'd shot up nearly 4 inches, transitioning to defensive end, and the game seemed to come naturally to him. The film wasn't glossy. The offers didn't flood in. One school finally called, Eastern Michigan, and Maxx was ready to work.
Like, I was surprised I got a D1 offer. They were the only D1 to offer me, bro. They're my only offer in general. I got that offer, I jumped on it, committed, and boom.
The weight room became routine, then refuge. He learned leverage, hand placement, and how to turn second efforts into first impressions. Coaches noticed the motor because it never shut off. The chip didn't melt when he got the offer. It sharpened. He wasn't selling a brand. He was building a body of work, rep by rep, in a program most fans couldn't find on a map. First year didn't go to plan as the coach made him a redshirt, essentially not playing for the year but only practicing.
So the whole year I just got to go on scout team and fucking learn. Try and spin moves, try and just all different type of shit. And I was winning scout team player of the week every week. That's when I really fell in love with it.
Redshirt felt like exile until he turned it into a workshop. No stat lines, no Saturday glory, just a practice jersey and endless reps against the starters. That's where Maxx broke the game into pieces and rebuilt it move by move. He tested everything a defensive lineman should. The scout team plaques started stacking. But the real win was understanding leverage so well that speed became a tool instead of a crutch. The breakout came fast, production finally matched the motor, and with it came a freedom that cut both ways. College life said celebrate, discipline said not yet. He tried to juggle both, and the imbalance showed up off the field before it did on it. Amid the chaos, he met Rachel, the person who would change everything. Loving Maxx wasn't easy. She was often the first, and sometimes the only, one to see the addiction creeping in and push for help.
He would leave Thursday, come back Sunday, same clothes. What was kind of frustrating too though is because he could compartmentalize it and then go wake up Monday and play football.
Eventually it got caught up to him as he got arrested and charged with DUI. A bad decision followed by blue and red lights forced a pause he couldn't spin. The kind of moment that tells you who you're going to be next.
You know, I was able to manage it to a certain extent, but I was always that dude that was too up and didn't know how to handle my...
He finished the year and learned the first hard truth of grown man football. Talent opens the door. Habits keep you in the room. The second truth was waiting around the corner. Nobody was going to hand him status at the next level, so he'd have to go take it. Which is why, when everyone told him to play it safe and take another year, he did the opposite and bet on himself anyway.
I had every coach tell me, you're gonna go in the 6th, 7th round, you need to go back to school, you need to, like, some of the closest people to me, like, bro, you need to go back to school. I'm like, fuck you. You don't think I could fucking do it? Like, all right, fuck you.
People told Maxx to go back to school, add weight, clean up the resume, and try again next year. He heard 6th or 7th round and decided that wasn't his story. He declared anyway, the kind of gamble that either dates your confidence or exposes it. Then he walked into the combine like it was an audition for his future and tore through drills, explosive jumps, clean change of direction, and a 40 that made evaluators recheck their notes. Suddenly the whispers shifted. Maybe this Eastern Michigan kid wasn't just a motor. Maybe he had the tools to match it. Draft weekend arrived with cameras, family, and a quiet that got louder by the hour. Day 2 ended. No call.
First 2 days go by, like I had the news people in my house in Texas, I had my whole family. Second day comes, we're like to the last couple picks of the 3rd round, and I didn't get drafted. So now I'm like, fuck. Like I'm in like panic mode.
Frustration and doubt crept in. DUI questions, small program bias, frame concerns, until the only thing left was a promise to make whoever passed pay for it.
I was so fucking mad, and I was with Rachel. I walked the fuck out of my party after that. I get in the car and I'm just like, fuck. Like I'm just yelling out loud like, fuck, like what the fuck? Got Burger King, fuck some Burger King up.
Day 3, pick 106. The Raiders finally rang.
Are you that guy number 92 that's raising hell?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Will you come out? Hey, will you come out here?
I'm ready. I'm the guy. I promise. Thank you so much.
Relief collided with resolve. He wasn't arriving as a savior. He was reporting as a 4th rounder who had to earn every snap. The chip didn't shrink, it sharpened. Year 1's mission was simple: make the league feel like it waited too long.
Trust me, the competitor in me, I'm like, no fucking way. They waited fucking 3 days to draft my ass. I got something for y'all, no doubt.
Next came the proving ground. Training camp, a giant in front of him, and the first flashes that he belonged. Training camp brought a wall named Trent Brown.
That was my Trent Brown story. When I came in the league, I'm like, all the vets were like, I'm not going against him. The biggest human I've ever seen, and I'm like, I'll go every time. I beat him on 1 rush. It took literally 2 weeks to beat him.
Every rep felt like pushing a truck uphill. Some days the truck rolled back over him. That's where the technique sharpened. Turn speed into leverage, use mass against itself, and trust the long arm like a pry bar.
I finally beat him with like a long arm in team, and I got a sack, and that took my confidence to a whole nother level.
One clean win in team period wasn't just a rep, it was proof. The season started with modest snaps, the kind rookies get when coaches don't fully trust them yet.
I remember my confidence level, like leading up to that game, like I was at my lowest of lowest. So I felt like I couldn't play in the league. Like we played the Vikings the week before, bro. I had the worst game of my career. Like I was like, I don't know if I could do this shit.
Then Cincinnati changed the room temperature. 4 sacks later, people stopped asking if he belonged and started asking how much more there was.
Finley under pressure, got hit from behind, and the ball is loose inside the 30-yard line. Maurice Finley under pressure goes down at the 10-yard line. Maxx Crosby.
That's like going up against Bobby Hart.
Finley under pressure and going down back at the 45-yard line. Maxx Crosby. Finley trying to spin out of trouble, goes down at the 11. Maxx Crosby.
The motor wasn't a rumor anymore. Offenses had to account for it. But success can hide rot. Off the field, he kept the party pace that followed him from college. The schedule looked like a victory lap, but the people closest to him knew it wasn't.
I felt like I was screaming down a dark hallway and everyone's like, figure it out.
So you were feeling completely alone?
No, 100%.
I put her through hell. Nobody even believed her. Like that's such a sad, lonely feeling, and like that still hurts me to this day.
Rachel, his girlfriend, saw the damage up close. She was the one counting the disappearances, bracing for the version of him that would walk through the door, explaining away the chaos until she couldn't. Loving a rising star sounds glamorous until nights stretch into mornings, and the person you care about is winning games while losing ground.
I threatened to leave like 1,000,000 times and I've never left. But I finally left though. Like it was such a good feeling for me.
She begged him to slow down, to listen, to pick the future over the rush. When nothing changed, she stepped back to protect what was left of herself. That's how addiction works in a winning season.
I was going through that with my girl. I'm partying my ass off, and I go out there versus the Bengals to get 4 sacks and come home and my girl hates me and I'm miserable. Like people don't even know that, bro.
He kept stacking numbers. She kept fighting for the man behind them. The breaking point didn't come from a coach or a fine. It came from a date that would become a promise written on his skin.
After my rookie season, then it just got worse. Like I was completely out of control. I had no limit on what I could do. So like I was just partying and doing the most at all times. So when it got to a point, like it was March 11th, that was when I got sober.
The off season after his rookie breakout wasn't a victory lap. It was a slide. I've got it under control turned into nights he couldn't remember and mornings he didn't want to face. He tried white-knuckling sobriety for a stretch, then caved at a Vegas event and vanished into a 5-day blur.
I was doing here and there. I was off the wall. I'd take a pill that I didn't even know what it was. Like, it was scary.
That was bottom. He called the two people who'd tell him the truth, his agent and Rachel, and said the words that change a life. I need help.
Like, bro, I don't even recognize myself, bro. Like, I'm miserable. I feel like fucking death. I felt like I was fucking dying. I'm like, I need to fucking get help.
On March 11th, 2020, he checked into rehab and later inked the date on his hand as a guardrail he could see. Recovery wasn't dramatic. It was boring on purpose. Meetings, boundaries, sleep, food he never used to care about. Max finished the program and came home relieved, but sobriety is a daily fight. The difference now, he isn't fighting alone. Rachel's beside him. Rachel absorbed the hard parts. Structure, reminders, refusing to let old patterns back in the house.
She'll take a bullet for me, like legitimately. She's been through everything with me. My addiction, she's been there by my side the whole time. We've had ups and downs a million times, but at the end of the day, I always ran back to her.
She'd carried the damage, now she helped carry the plan. And the crazy part is that the rest of the world had no idea the troubles Max was going through.
It took a lot because I was the same person. I was so like, I really cared about my image and I needed to be known as like, you know, hard ass, like football player, blah, blah, blah. Like that's how football players are, bro. It's our natural nature.
The first sober season brought small, stubborn wins and a different kind of tape. Effort turned methodical. A year later, the floodgates opened. 108 quarterback pressures, the most in football, and a reputation for never taking a play off. People call it motor. It's really maintenance, habits stacked so high the game can't knock them over. Max didn't reinvent himself in one big moment.
Sat with a nutritionist, got with the strength staff, got with everybody. I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to be a middle-of-the-road guy or a good story. Oh, he got sober in the league, whatever. I'm like, I'm trying to be the best.
He made 1,000 small choices the camera never sees. That's why his rush looks the same in the fourth quarter as it does in the first. Recovery gave him a gear he can trust. Mid-season 2021, the coach who drafted him, John Gruden, was forced to resign after the email scandal.
I love Coach Gruden. I mean, he's like family to me. So yeah, it sucked. You're like, this is the dude that drafted me. And the next day, I'm literally with my wife in Gruden's house. Tears, but we had to keep going.
In the fallout, Crosby didn't wobble. He ramped up, wrecked games, earned his first Pro Bowl, and finished with Pro Football Focus's top edge grade in a league-leading 108 pressures.
I really didn't believe it. I had to take a moment. Like I broke down. I just put in so much work. So I'm getting emotional. It's just like I was in rehab like almost 2 years ago. And now I'm in a Pro Bowl. Like
Maxx Crosby hit rock bottom, then climbed all the way back. Then life widened. He and Rachel welcomed their baby, and the focus shifted from proving people wrong to providing something right.
It was the greatest day of my life, honestly. Can't even describe the moment. You'll never look at life the same.
And just as everything finally clicked, another obstacle crashed. The price of a relentless motor is paid in the training room. In 2023, his knee swelled so badly he woke up dizzy.
The shit was blown up like a balloon. And I wake up the next morning and I fucking almost pass out. Like I felt like I was dying.
The kind of scare that makes most players shut it down. He didn't. He drained it, taped it, and kept suiting up. That season became a highlight reel of willpower. He finished with a career-high 14.5 sacks and a reputation for logging more snaps than any sane defensive lineman should. Coaches call it leadership, teammates call it an example. What it really is, a standard that refuses to bend to pain. The tape shows it on loop. Runs spilled back inside because he won the edge anyway. Third downs turned into punts because he just wouldn't go away. Then 2024 raised the stakes. Week 2 against Baltimore, he detonated the game. 2 sacks, havoc everywhere, then got rolled up and felt the ankle go. For the first time since he put on an NFL helmet, he missed a game.
Defensive Player of the Week, I went nuts. And the second to last play, I get rolled up, and I've never done that, but I tore my ankle up. Couldn't walk off the field barely.
No, you played through it.
And I'm like mentally going through it. I'm like, I can't do it. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep fighting.
80 plus straight appearances snapped by one twist. He tried to bulldoze through it, limped into Sundays on treatment and stubbornness, and still flashed. But the body finally sent a non-negotiable message: surgery. In 12 games, Maxx logged 7.5 sacks, 17 tackles for loss, 20 quarterback hits, and 35 pressures, leading the Raiders in all 4 before landing on IR on December 18. The stat line stayed respectable.
Like, the competitor in me, I couldn't fucking sleep at night. You know what I mean? You're just sitting there hopeless and you want to go.
The competitive fire didn't dim. What changed was the clarity. If he wanted a second prime, he had to protect the machine that makes the production. And even with the season-ending injury, the league answered his grind with ink and a paycheck that said the respect is real.
We've got breaking news out of the NFL where the Las Vegas Raiders have signed defensive end Maxx Crosby to a monster extension. It's a 4-year deal.
Maxx Crosby is now the new highest-paid non-quarterback in the National Football League. $106.5 million extension. That's $91.5 guaranteed.
I just want to be able to put some light into the world, bring positive energy in any way I can, and be a light for anybody going through what they're going through. You know what I mean? I'm about to be 5 years sober in a week. So that alone is, without that, I wouldn't be here. And there's a lot of people that have helped me in this room along this journey. So can't thank those guys enough.
The league doesn't hand out respect, it prices it. After years of playing like an absolute problem, Vegas answered with a monster extension that pushed him into the highest paid non-QB conversation and locked him in as the face of the franchise. That number wasn't charity. It was a receipt for years of double teams, for playing hurt without headlines, for setting a standard young guys can copy without asking. And even with surgery still fresh and snaps to manage, the evaluation stayed cold-eyed and clear. Heading into 2025, the grader that lives in film rooms, Pro Football Focus, slotted Maxx 33rd overall across the entire NFL. That's not a hype video. That's a ranking built on win rate, pressure, and run fit when you pause the tape and count bodies. It says his floor is elite and his ceiling is still in play the moment the ankle says yes. Maxx Crosby could have let the negatives win. Instead, he took charge of the one thing he controls: his life. On one side, a kid with one D1 offer, a 4th-round pick, addiction, and a date carved into his hand, so he never forgets where the climb began. On the other, a pressure king, a standard setter, a father, a partner who finally listened, and a contract that says the league values not just explosions, but consistency. Maxx wins because the habits do. He built a life where the motor is backed by maintenance, where recovery is part of the game plan, and where the people who carried him through the worst get the first credit when the best arrives. That's why the tape looks the same no matter the quarter. That's why the room follows when he speaks. The story isn't neat, it's honest. He broke patterns, paid the price, and now plays like a man who knows exactly what it costs to show up every week. The ranking heading into 2025 says the respect is real. The extension says the responsibility is too. Thanks for watching. How do you think Maxx and the Raiders finish this season? Playoffs or bust? The next chapter won't be decided by hype or headlines. It'll be decided by the same things that saved him: discipline, detail, and a refusal to waste a snap.